Hello people and welcome back. This might be a little spicy, but let's do it anyway. Learning to make art along with constantly consuming art will change how you see it and make you question the meaning of art. There we go. Okay, well I touched on it in the last video, so let's go into more detail and see if I'm not the only one that this is happening to. These are my thoughts and ideas, so let's get into it. Many years ago, I was inspired by all the incredible art I would see online, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to learn to create something as wondrous and beautiful and moving as what I was seeing. And to me, these artists were magicians. They were superstars. But all this learning and practicing and creating and consuming has had an unexpected effect. Some of the magic wore off. Now I'm sitting here and I'm scrolling through art on social media, and there is just so much to scroll through, and it's all very nice. Occasionally I will come across something that will make me stop, and I will take the time to study what it was that got my attention, and I really appreciate that. I also seem to put my inspector glasses on and investigate why this image is magic and not the others. I just can't help but wonder why. So what's going on here? I think it's a combination of factors, but remember, this is quite subjective to each individual, and I'm sure you will have your own opinion on this. What it comes down to for me is my taste in art is changing for a number of reasons. From the slow process of learning to recognize the fundamental aspects of what makes a good piece of art, to a place of boredom, stagnation in my own work, and also oversaturation of art online. The big player of that part was the advent and seemingly absolute invasion of AI-generated art. So why does AI have a role in this? Well, because anyone can use it, and they do. It has come such a long way since we first saw those DALL-E images, and it improved so much that it is getting harder and harder to distinguish between something a person has created from something AI has created. Then Midjourney came along and blew us away with its beautiful images. Of course, there are other AI generators now, and it's just so widely available and easy to use. It seems like with the right words, it can put together something amazing in such a short amount of time, way beyond the skill of most people, except artists at the top of their field, which it was probably trained on, but that's another topic. I think most of us can agree that this invention is really shaking up the digital art world in particular. The art industry is changing as a result. Years and years ago, it used to be a joke that some people thought making digital art meant pushing the create art button. Photoshop had this big magic button, but people didn't realize it still took skill and technique to create anything good. But that's kind of the reality now. So artists and non-artists alike are pushing the create art button and sharing it as you would. I have to wonder if because of this, the actual value of art and its creation, especially digital art, is being devalued just as fast as AI art is improving. The sheer abundance of anything will make it lose its value. It will become normalized, and then we look elsewhere for something meaningful. It's had that effect on me because I do question the value of making art. I am also questioning if the art I'm looking at online is real or AI generated, and it's a confusing space to be in right now. So far, I just scroll past a lot of what I think was generated by AI, and unfortunately, a lot of real digital artists are probably also getting scrolled past along with them, and I really feel for them, I do. But I don't find any value in AI generated art other than perhaps the odd combination that's more entertainment value, and I'm talking meme level entertaining. The rest of it has become meaningless to me, but I can see how it can be used as a tool to explore concepts quickly or create reference points for ideas. It's just not something that I can see myself using, but there is an industry out there for it, definitely. So what are the other reasons why the way I see art has changed? Well, along with the influx of more and more AI being shown everywhere, there is also more and more people learning to create and post their art, which I think is fantastic, really. It's just that with so much to view online whenever we want at our fingertips, every minute, every second of the day, sometimes it starts to blend together, and I feel like I'm questioning what I'm doing sometimes. What am I doing? What am I looking at? I guess with so much out there, it can lose a bit of meaning and substance, and I sometimes wonder why I bother creating my own art. But then I will try to remind myself that the reason is because this is part of my journey and my story. And I absolutely love to support anyone trying to learn as well, because I believe that everyone should create in some way. Create your legacy, your story, part of you that you want to put into the world, even if no one else sees value in it the way that you do. And that's why I love to see those types of creations from people. They are really interesting and way more interesting than AI art. And they are showing me someone's journey and how they see the world through their eyes. And they are really trying to express something, or perhaps experimenting, and it seems to hold a lot more value to me than everything else that I just scrolled through. So what else am I looking for then? If the meaning has been stripped from art, what am I really looking for? Well, I can say that I also love to see true workmanship, art that shows a dedication to the craft and an understanding of the fundamentals of a good piece of art. I find it amazing to just go over with my inspector goggles on. Like I said before, when an artwork makes me stop, I have to figure out what it is that got my attention. And I guess it's a way of testing my knowledge as well. It could be the lighting, or the mastery over tones and values, or the composition, brushstrokes, line work, edge work, or just the sheer mastery over their subject and what they chose to put their focus on. And once I have found out what it is that grabbed me, I can then really truly appreciate the artwork as a whole. I also love to see traditional artwork the most because of what AI art has done to my perception of digital art, unfortunately. It's an absolute tragedy, really, and I don't know how to get that wonder back for digital work, because when AI art is integrated into the software, how am I supposed to value that? I just really don't know. I barely look at it these days, when I used to be absolutely amazed by it. And I was also amazed by a lot of those digital artworks before AI. I was inspired back then to try digital art for myself years back, but it just didn't take for me. I never got past the shitty stage, and my hand would always cramp up holding the tablet pen in, I don't know, some sort of vice death grip. But all I can say is there are really great digital artists out there, and they are amazing. And I'm so sad that a lot of their work was used to train AI. I think it's just reprehensible, but the cat's out of the bag. The only thing that I can think of that might work now is copyrighting the use of their names in any prompts. Now, they should get royalties for that. Anytime their name is used to create, well, it's basically a derivative work. It must be so hard for those digital artists to navigate their place in this new world. And I'm afraid that it will stop a lot of budding artists before they even start. It really makes me cheer on those that still try. It definitely helps when they show the act of creation along with their finished work as well. Now, here's something else I've noticed too. It's not all the same. And what do I mean by that? Well, I can look back at the old masters and still find that appreciation, that awe and wonder. I think it's just the sheer mastery over their craft. And even further back, remember those cave paintings they showed you in school? Well, they really stuck out for me, and it's been decades since I saw them in the classroom. But I do remember looking at them with just such amazement. They had so much mystery. I was looking into the past, and I was trying to put myself right there. That was how much they stoked my imagination. It's incredible, really, because they still do to this day. And, who were they? Why did they paint them? What was important to them? People have spent hours, days, years, perhaps even their whole life searching for the answers to those questions and more, and it's just incredible to me. I think it's the authenticity that's valuable, the embodiment, the act of creation, the ceremonies, the circumstances surrounding it. There's a story to be told there, and for us, it sparks curiosity and wonder. Funny that. AI doesn't seem to be able to do that. Well, now I'm looking at my own art more critically. I know more than I did before. And I know more of what I want to get out of it. And to be fair, a lot of my existing work is just part of the process of learning. So they aren't really artworks, they are studies. They are the result of me practicing and honing my skills. And they have no meaning other than being a part of that learning journey. And also, I don't need to find meaning in everything. Sometimes I just want to study a certain aspect of something because that's how we get better. But, as I said, that last long drawing that I did, that was the catalyst for me realizing what was going on in my head. I wanted to put more into that drawing. I wanted it to be more than just another pretty thing to look at. I wanted it to represent a state of mind, a vision. And while it's not at a professional level by any means, I put more of myself into that drawing than anything that I have done, at least for a long time. And by doing that, I also got to enjoy the process again, which was a real surprise. I actually relished the time that I spent drawing. That time that I spent really meant something to me. And it's hanging on my wall now. I look at it every morning when I wake up. Now, Midjourney could have created that drawing, and it would have made it 1,000 times better and probably more correct, but then it wouldn't be part of my story. I can't outsource the meaning or effort I put into a drawing. It would have just been another pretty image created by AI on a computer somewhere from a few words, and it would turn into something I consume instead of something I create. It's not authentic then, and when we outsource the blood, sweat and tears, the imagination and the effort, where do we find the value? Does authenticity even hold any value anymore? I think to some people it will hold even more value, and to others probably not, and that's okay. So what do we do now? Well, for me, I'm definitely not giving up. I'm going to draw more for myself and what interests me, the things that I want to be part of my learning journey. I'm going to use my new insight more as a tool when I need it and try to develop and refine that as well. I think it will allow me to elevate some of my artworks in the future, and I really look forward to learning how to do that. It might be a long way away, but I can see the path. So with all that, these are just my thoughts and observations along the way, and I do wonder if I might be alone in thinking this, or maybe not, I don't know. But I do know this, and that we each have to find our own meaning and reasons to keep creating. And I think also we need to create more than we consume. Do all artists go through this? I'm curious if anyone else went through it or is going through it, and what your thoughts might be. Let me know in the comments what you think. So this is how I'm trying to create videos like this more regularly again. I'm also going to have other types of videos once I figure out what I'm going to do. So stick around if you're curious and subscribe for more in the future. I feel like it lets me know people are interested even if they don't want to leave comments if I see them subscribe. But anyway, that's it for today, and as always, keep learning and discovering, keep drawing, and let's get better together. I'll see you next time.